The January World Cup qualifying fixtures are just around the corner with games against El Salvador, Canada, and Honduras. Yesterday, we released our 28-man roster consisting of 4 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 7 midfielders, and 8 forwards. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the roster, what we do like, what we don't like, what could have changed, and how this is going to affect our World Cup qualifying fixtures. So anyway, let's get straight into it. Before I start this video, make sure you like this video, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the channel down below. It would help me a lot. Trying to hit 600 subscribers by the end of the World Cup qualifying window. It's not a lot to discuss. We're just going to get straight into this roster, go over the positions, and then we're going to have a big collective takeaways at the end of the video. So let's get straight into it. So starting off with the goalkeepers, we called 4 goalkeepers into camp. You got Matt Turner, Sean Johnson, Zach Steffen, and Gaga Sanina. Obviously, Matt Turner's there, Zach Steffen there. Sean Johnson's been there for the past few windows, kind of expected. A little bit surprised calling in Gaga, the 17-year-old. Now, I did kind of think of one thing. Matt Turner has been linked to Arsenal earlier this week. So, hypothetically, if he were to make that move, we'd have that third goalkeeper there as a safe option. But I do expect Zach Steffen to start most of these games. And overall, a pretty solid goalkeeper pool. As far as the defenders go, we have 9 defenders, 5 fullbacks, 4 center backs, but 4 of those fullbacks being right backs. And to me, that really doesn't make a lot of sense. You don't really need 4 fullbacks on a roster. Yes, I know Serginho Dest is capable of playing left back, and he could play some of these guys as well at left back in a pinch, but again, doesn't make sense to me. But as far as the center back goes, you have Walker Zimmerman, deserved to be here. Mark McKenzie, I don't really know about. Miles Robinson, 100%. Chris Richards has been balling out for Hoffenheim right now. You got Serginho Dest, who hasn't played in a while, so it's going to be interesting to see how he copes in this camp. You have Anthony Robinson, who's on fire right now for Fulham in the championship. Reggie Cannon has been in pretty good form for the past month, so excited to see him. Brooks Lennon, I don't know what this call-up was about. He had to have done something right in the December-January camp to get called up, because he should have never been called up in the first place over Joe Scally. And then you have DeAndre Ayton. So as far as these defenders go, there is a lot to unpack. So obviously, I think the big thing is you're missing John Brooks and Joe Scally. The omission of John Brooks, to me, has to be something more than form. I know Gregg Berhalter said that form was all of the reason, but to me, there's no reason you can leave off our most experienced guy who's been in decent form. He hasn't even been in bad form over the past few months. You know, a guy like Mark McKenzie hasn't played in nearly a month, and he gets called on this roster. Serginho Dest, I know he hasn't played in a month, but we know how good he is. Brooks Lennon, again, hasn't played in about 2 months. Like, to me, that call-up doesn't make any sense. DeAndre Ayton has been getting very limited minutes. So these call-ups over both John Brooks and Joe Scally don't make a lot of sense to me, but I do expect Walker Zimmerman, Miles Robinson, Chris Richards, Serginho Dest, and Anthony Robinson to eat up most of these minutes. But yeah, so on to the midfielders. So we called in 7 midfielders. You have Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Luca De Vittori, Christian Aldon, Kellen Acosta, Yunus Musa, and then Sebastian Lletget. I expect Tyler Adams, McKennie, and Yunus Musa to eat up a majority of these minutes. It's going to be tough coming in from Europe, playing a lot of games every single week, trying to play 390 minutes, so I don't think it will fully happen. But again, we have enough guys, enough talent in the midfield. Kellen Acosta, not really a big fan of it, but I expected it because we don't really have a backup 6 at the moment. Really excited for Luca De Vittori to be in this camp. I think he got called in over Gianluca Buzzi at the last minute because of COVID. So I hope he gets some minutes off the bench because I think he's a really underrated player. As far as both Roldan and Lletget go, I am not very happy about these guys. They haven't played in nearly 2 months, you know, and they just kind of walk into this camp like it's nothing. Does not make any sense. A guy like even Georgi Mihailovic played well in MLS this season, got into camp, but couldn't get into this roster. Like, I don't really know. As far as some of these guys that will continuously get called up, but not even deserve it. Like, there's no double standard because Berhalter is so keen on, okay, these guys need to be informed to be in the camp, but he called in 13 of these guys who aren't even in season right now. It just doesn't even make sense, and I can't really stress enough. But again, like, there's still enough talent in the midfield, and I'm excited to see that MMA trio back in action. Alright, so there were 8 forwards that were called into camp. I see it as 5 wingers and 3 strikers. You have Christian Pulisic, Ricardo Pepi, Giassi Zardes, Jesus Ferreira, Brendan Anderson, Paul Arriola, Jordan Morris, and Tim Weah. As far as strikers go, I see it as Ricardo Pepi, Giassi Zardes, and Jesus Ferreira. I do expect Ricardo Pepi to get most of the minutes. I know right now, not in the best situation at the moment. He's kind of adapting in Augsburg at the moment. But again, hopefully he can get back into scoring ways, pick up some form, and then see what he can do from there. Giassi Zardes, not really a fan of the call-up. I would have rather called up someone like a Daryl Dike, a Josh Sargent, a Matthew Hoppe, guys who just offer a different skill set. You know, I think Matthew Hoppe's off-the-ball movement and his technical ability. Josh Sargent, again, his hold-up play and his off-the-ball movement. And then Daryl Dike, just a big physical center forward who can mix things up. Something you might need in CONCACAF. But anyway, would have called up one of those three rather instead of Giassi Zardes. Jesus Ferreira, I'm not really opposed to the call-up. I just think he's more of an attacking mid, a guy who plays behind a striker. So I think, again, I would have called up someone different. But again, if he does get minutes, I wouldn't really be that upset. So anyway, I guess onto the wingers. You have Pulisic, Aronson, Areola Morris, and Tim Weah. Pulisic, I expect him to get most of these minutes in camp. He's going to have to be doing a lot of heavy lifting in this camp. Obviously, no Giovanni Reina, Conrad either because of fitness. Brennan Aronson right now, coming off a month-long break. I don't know where fitness status is. But he's got some injuries right now from Leeds United. So anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how he copes in this camp and when his fitness level is right and how often he can play. Paul Areola, again, I don't know why he gets called up. Didn't really deserve it. Hasn't played in almost 2 months and has done nothing with the national team in the past basically forever. So anyway, I'm just going to leave it there because Paul Areola, I don't know why he keeps getting called up. Jordan Morris, you can make the same argument. But to be fair, I think Morris at least offers you something different. He's got pace that can stretch a back line, and he's got pretty good 1v1 ability. You could use off the bench or maybe even start him in one game. Tim Weah, coming off an injury, I don't really know exactly where his fitness status is. Today, he is starting a game, so that is a great sign. So hopefully he's able to get a lot of minutes in this next camp. But we want to be precautious with him. So anyway, there's some good things in this attacker group. Obviously, the wings, I think Pulisic, Aronson, Weah, and Morris are all capable guys who can get the job done. Ricardo Pepi, again, great player. I would have maybe switched a few things up, especially at those backup striker roles. But anyway, not really that upset with it. And I guess the final recap. So overall, these rosters just seem to be a very recurring theme. Gregg will call on the best 17, 18 guys. Not a problem. I have confidence that they can go in, that they can get results. The problem because when he calls on some of those guys, let's say the Legets, Areolas, Roldans, the Zardes, when we have to rotate in 3-game windows in tough games, like these games take everything out of you. It becomes a problem because then we cannot go get results, maybe even on the road, or even at home when we just have guys like that. They just aren't the same as some of our other guys. And we have guys who are definitely more than capable of playing better than them, who are in other leagues, playing better and challenging themselves. I guess other overall things I didn't like, no John Brooks, didn't make any sense. Berhalter trying to justify it with form. I don't know, because he hasn't even been in bad form and he just gets dropped. Mark McKenzie hasn't played in a month. He just walks into the roster. Again, utter nonsense. 4 right backs. Why do we need 4 right backs? We could easily have just called up, another left back. Let's say Sam Vines, even a DeJuan Jones. He had a good January camp. Call him up instead of Brooks Lennon. I don't know why Brooks Lennon was on the roster. As far as midfielders go, good for the most part. Happy to get De La Torre's on there. Hopefully he can get an opportunity to do well, and I think he will do well because I think he's a very underrated player. Leggett, Roldan, don't know. Forwards, Areola. I hope he doesn't get any minutes this window. As far as strikers go, I would have liked to see either a Sargent, a Hoppe, a P-Falk, a DK instead of a Zardes or Ferrer. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm confident in this group. Overall, can do a very good job in qualifying. Now, rotating is going to be kind of an issue, especially with a few injuries and all that. But anyway, super pumped for these games. And anyway, yeah, it's going to be it. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, you haven't already liked this video, and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit those comments down below on who you think should have made this roster, who was unfairly cut, if you're excited for this window, and what you want to see. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.